Greetings, fellow moviegoers, and welcome to Movie Central, the place to talk about movies, TV shows based on movies, toys based on movies, games based on movies, and rides based on movies. I'm your host, Mr. CCS, and this is my pet gorilla, George. Now, before we start this, I need to ask YouTube for a favor. Please do not demonetize me for using the word suicide in this video. I will be censoring it in the title card and in the title of the video and in the description. Alright, let's get into the history of Task Force X, more famously known as the Suicide Squad. First debuting in The Brave and the Bold number 25, the team had one simple goal: go on dangerous missions that could cost them their lives, hence their name. As far as the roster goes, it has constantly fluctuated throughout the years, but consistent members include Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, Killer Frost, King Shark, Bronze Tiger, and their leaders, Colonel Rick Flag Jr. and Amanda Waller. The group's first other media appearance came in the form of Justice League Unlimited, with the episode titled Task Force X, in which the team attempts to take out the Justice League Watchtower. Their next well-known media appearances came in the sort of adaptation in the show Arrow, as well as the animated film Batman Assault on Arkham, which featured the lineup of Killer Frost, King Shark, Captain Boomerang, Black Spider, KG Beast, Harley Quinn, and Deadshot. The team would be upgraded to big screen characters soon enough, announced back at SDCC 2014. The movie was to be helmed by David Ayer. Known for his screenplays for movies Training Day, U571, The Fast and the Furious, and the director of the Brad Pitt movie Fury. Based around his work, he could have made a great action movie with ballsy sequences, good character development, and a ton of fun moments, if Warner Brothers didn't intervene and rush him. Yeah, they forced Ayer to write the script within 6 weeks, which is a short amount of time for a screenwriter. But he somehow managed to push through and create a cohesive movie, which was torn to shreds by having the company that edited the trailers re-edit the movie to feel more, I don't even know. But with a great cast, a pretty good writer-director, and one hell of an awesome concept, we should have gotten something great. But critics tore this movie to shreds. With the critic consensus reading, Suicide Squad boasts a talented cast and a little more humor than previous DCEU efforts, but they aren't enough to save the disappointing end result from muddled plot, thinly written characters, and choppy directing. Honestly, what the hell were the studio executives thinking? Anyways, despite being very received poorly, the movie still did pretty well at the box office, but with a movie that fans hated so much still in dire need of a saving by the original vision, how does it hold up 7 years later? We'll discuss it today. And honestly, it doesn't really go well. Without further delay, this is Suicide Squad. On the island of Corto Maltese, a ragtag group of supervillains are tasked with taking out an unknown threat that... Wait, sorry. I'm reading you the plot of the good Suicide Squad movie from 2021. Let's try again. After the death of Superman, government agent Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis, attempts to assemble a group of supervillains to defend the world from a threat like the Man of Steel. She assembles a ragtag group of supervillains for the job, including Master Marksman Deadshot, played by Will Keep My Wife's Name Out of Your Effing Mouth Smith, the Robin to Joker's Batman Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie, the Aussie thief Captain Boomerang, played by Jai Courtney, the Beast Killer Croc, played by Adewale Akinnuoye Agbaje. Sorry if I butchered your name, I'm terrible. The Fire Demon Metahuman El Diablo, played by J. Magnum P.I. Hernandez, the Acrobat Slipknot, played by Adam Beach, and the Assassin Katana, played by Karen Fukuhara. With the help of Colonel Rick Flag, played by Joel Kinnaman, and Dr. June Moon, played by Cara Delevingne, things seem to be completely thrown together. Until Moon's alternate personality, a centuries-old witch known as the Enchantress, goes crazy, finds her brother, and begins to, you guessed it, take over the world. Of course. The newly formed squad now has to save the world from the Enchantress while not getting on the radar of Batman, played again by Ben Affleck, and the Joker, played by Jared Leto. Now, you're probably wondering what I just retold to you, but I'm wondering two things on my own. The first, what the hell is this story? This doesn't sound like a story for these characters, and just seems like a cheap knockoff of my favorite film, The Avengers. The second, how the hell did I like this movie as a kid? This story is freaking awful, and it doesn't make any sense either from a writing nor comic book standpoint. I'm assuming this is the New 52 version of the Suicide Squad, where they perform ballsier missions, but it doesn't excuse the fact that they are doing something superheroes would do. What do I mean by that? Observe. I don't usually go on tangents like this, but I'm trying to prove a point. A weird CGI army with a portal in the sky with a team fighting off the threats. Where have I seen that before? The Avengers is the movie that did this easily the best, but it's also in the Justice League movie with the Parademons. But at least that movie had a great feeling when you were watching it, not to mention Transformers Dark of the Moon, and sort of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, Independence Day, and Pixels. The thing is, with those characters, they were heroes, and they were fighting threatening things that were trying to take over the world because they care. You could argue that these characters care too, but not enough to go out of their way to save the world from destruction. Look, in Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, the squad do help the Justice League fight Darkseid's army. But that's because the world is dead, and they are the only ones who can distract the Parademons long enough. What were they doing beforehand? Futzing around and fighting inside an abandoned prison. Whatever, you get my point. The story and the writing are awful. I don't blame David Ayer for this, though. This was clearly not the movie he was trying to make, but a cheap Frankenstein's monster of a movie that was slapped together to get to the end credits and add a group of villains to the new universe. But I'll talk about that when I get to my review of the 2017 cut of Justice League. Anyways, even though the story is bad, was the movie salvaged by anything? Well, let's find out. Now, as far as characters go, the best ones in the movie come from Viola Davis as Amanda Waller and Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag. Now, these characters got great in the 2021 movie, where they acted more like their comic book counterparts, but here they were perfectly fine. Flag isn't as cynical as his comic book counterpart is, and Waller isn't as ruthless. I can get by that, though, because they were fixed in the good one. Now, as far as the squad goes, there were only 2 members I thought were good, 2 okay, and the rest were complete garbage. Let's start with the good first. Will Smith as Deadshot is pretty good. He's got a very good reason for joining the team, which is accurate to his character in the comics, and that made me happy for that reason alone. Where he falters, however, is his dialogue. He says one line that absolutely tanks his character for me. Man, I really hate that freaking line. It's so forced and a cheap way of being meta. Again, the 2021 movie did it better. The other good member of the squad was Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Now, I have said before, I am not the biggest Harley Quinn fan. The times I am a fan comes from the versions that are in the animated series and the Arkham series. The DCEU Harley is awful because she doesn't scream Harley Quinn to me, except for the 2021 movie, as I said before. Robbie does give us a pretty decent performance of the character, and plays off a ton of Harley mannerisms in a few of her scenes, but on the whole, she's not great, and I think the design kind of explains why this is the case. This is all the New 52's fault. What is wrong with the Jester outfit? You have modernized it before, why not do it again? Why do you keep sticking with the skimp? It's obnoxiously fanboyish. That little rant aside, Margot Robbie gives a good performance as Harley, but not a great one. Now, as far as the OK characters go, El Diablo was good until the final act where I stopped feeling for his actually decent setup, and he became a bit of a cartoon character. Captain Boomerang was fun, but a little too goofy and childish for my taste. And now we have the awful characters. Katana is a character that was done a complete disservice to. Why the hell would you pick a serious and well-written superhero and bring her here and give her nothing to do? Seriously, Warner Brothers, get a goddamn grip. Hopefully, James Gunn can remedy this with an Outsiders movie where she can work alongside Black Lightning, Metamorpho, and a few others. Killer Croc is also bad. While the makeup is incredible and the voice is awesome, I hate how they utilized him. Why not use King Shark? He's the muscle of the team anyways, and he always was. Also, the guy who plays Croc played Curse in Thor the Dark World, another brute that does absolutely nothing in his screen time and was just a tough boss fight that adds nothing to the plot. Shame that Croc ended up like this. Hopefully James Gunn can fix this and make a terrifying and tragic version of the character. Slipnuts wasn't even a character. That's all I have to say about him. Next we have the film's crappy villains, Enchantress and her brother. Jude Moon is the only interesting part of Enchantress's character. It's frightening to see her slowly lose her good, and sadly, this was kind of a bad way to show it, though. Her brother is just bad CGI, and that's it. I can't remember anything significant about him at all. Oh yeah, Enchantress's designs are so bad. Look at this! This is such an eyesore. What am I looking at here? This is one of the most horrid comic book movie adaptation designs for characters. It's a green hood, for Christ's sake. Anyways, I need to address the Joker next, and oof, he sucks. Jared Leto gives us easily the worst on-screen portrayal of the iconic character. The tattoos, the characteristics, the laugh, the voice, everything is freaking wrong here. Thank God we still have the good Jokers of the past and the present, like Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, and Joaquin Phoenix, and especially Mark Hamill. Pay attention to those Jokers and not Leto's. Yeah, that's about it for the characters. Batman and Flash have cameos, but that's all I have to say about them. Yeah, the characters in the movie have good aspects about them, but they are mostly bad, and that sucks for an ensemble movie. But you want to know what's somehow worse? The visual effects are terrible. Now, I will give credit to the makeup and costume design. They are incredible, and they were Oscar winning because of it. But the CGI is rushed and looks like something from the early 2000s. Look at Enchantress. Look at Big Brother. Look at the weird clicker knockoffs. This is some of the worst CGI I have ever seen in my life, and I have seen things like the Scorpion King without cringing. At least the car chase was pretty cool, though. I will give it that. Now, as far as the music goes, there is hardly an OST, and the movie consists of a bunch of pop songs, well done pop songs, but there should be an OST as well. I do like some of the songs they choose to use, though, and I do listen to them on some occasion. I guess you should go check them out if you have a chance. And as far as action scenes go, hot damn, are these terrible. The car chase with Harley, Joker, and Batman is the only thing to note here, because at least it was a ton of fun, but the rest of the action is terrible, and some of the worst action scenes of all time. So yeah, Suicide Squad may be enjoyably bad. Not that that matters or anything. But it is all a music video pretending to be a movie that doesn't do anything right. Are there good things about it? Maybe. But it can't really save a bad movie. A bad movie is a bad movie, which is why I gave Suicide Squad a 3 out of 10. It's a miracle we have the JLU episode, Assault on Arkham, and the 2021 movie. Well, that's it for this review. I return once again to the DCEU reviews to review a movie that we should see in live action. Also, I won't be stuttering as much. This movie kind of broke me. With that said, My name is Mr. CCS. This is Movie Central, and that, my friends, is a wrap. See you next week.